What toxic family tradition did you break that cost you everything? In my family, we don't let daughters inherit, ever. For 5 generations, when a man dies without sons, everything goes to his brother, never his daughter. Women marry out, Grandpa always said. Blood stays with blood. I watched it happen to my Aunt Rachel when Uncle Jim died. She'd run his auto shop for 15 years, but the business went to my father instead. Rachel got nothing, but Jim would have wanted family to keep it. The tradition seemed distant until my older brother Marcus died in Afghanistan. I was 19, studying business, dreaming of expanding Dad's construction company, but suddenly I wasn't the heir anymore. I was just the daughter who'd marry out someday. Everything goes to your Uncle Steve when I die, Dad announced at Marcus's funeral dinner. Uncle Steve, who'd never worked construction a day in his life. What about me? I asked. I've worked every summer since I was 14. I know this business better than anyone. Dad's face hardened. You'll marry, your husband will provide. This stays in the family name. I spent 6 years proving myself, worked full-time while finishing my degree, landed our biggest contract, increased profits by 40%. But every family gathering, Dad would talk about Uncle Steve's future plans for the company. Everything changed when Dad had his first heart attack at 58. Lying in the hospital bed, he looked fragile for the first time. I need to update my will, he whispered. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about Aunt Rachel, how she'd built something beautiful just to watch it get handed to someone who didn't earn it. The next morning, I walked into Dad's hospital room with financial reports and client testimonials. This is what I've built. This is what I've earned. Dad barely glanced at the papers. Sweetheart, you've done good work, but when you get married, I'm never getting married, I said quietly. He looked up, confused. What? I'm gay, Dad. I'm never marrying a man. I'm never taking someone else's name. This tradition doesn't even apply to me. The silence stretched forever. Dad's heart monitor beeped steadily. Finally, he spoke. That's not, you're just confused. I've been with Sarah for 3 years, I said. We're buying a house together. Dad's face went through shock, denial, then something harder. Get out, Dad, get out! I don't have a daughter anymore. I don't have any children anymore. The nurses rushed in as his heart rate spiked. I stood in the hallway, shaking as they stabilized him. Dad survived but refused to see me. Uncle Steve flew in to handle family business. The will was updated. Everything to Steve, nothing to me. 2 months later, Dad had a massive stroke. I wasn't called until after he died. I sat in the back row at his funeral like a stranger. The will reading was exactly what I expected. Uncle Steve got everything. I got a single line. To my former daughter, I leave nothing, as she has chosen to leave this family. Uncle Steve sold the company 6 months later to a national chain. 40 years of Dad's work, gone. Sarah and I got married last year. Her father walked me down the aisle since mine was dead and buried with his disappointment. Her mother called me the daughter she'd always wanted. Some nights I still dream about walking into his hospital room with different words, about lying and saying Sarah was just a roommate, about choosing his approval over my truth.